Okay, well, these driving videos probably aren't the greatest, but we're in the El Camino, so you should be able to hear me pretty good. Don't have to scream, I don't think. So today we're gonna work on getting the gremlin back. So I kind of quit working on it because, like I said, we're still in the process of looking to buy a house, but it's gonna take a long while to get that stuff figured out since everything's so expensive up here. And the other big reason I was waiting on the gremlin is because I took the guy. I think we bought that gremlin back in September, and he promised, or he said he had a title when we went to go buy it, and then when we get there he didn't have the title. He said he had to do the paperwork and blah blah blah, and he said he'd have it in 2 weeks. Well, today is February 1st, I believe, and we just barely got a title yesterday for that gremlin. So that's the other reason I kind of just quit working on it, because you know, I don't want to be putting money and stuff into a car that I don't have paperwork for. And if you're in Montana, you've probably dealt with people saying, oh, it's easy to get a title. Yeah, not really. It really depends on the last time the car was registered. And also today it is windy. So you have a couple weather patterns in Montana. It's either really super cold, or it's really super windy, or it's both. You know, sometimes it's snowing and sometimes it's sunny. Well, most cases it's either sunny or it's snowy or rainy. So it's not, there's not a whole lot of nice calm, just sunny days. Especially last year, it rained almost every day last summer. So this winter we haven't hardly gotten any snow. So I don't know, probably have a bad fire season this year. But anyways, I'm going to get everything set up. The gremlin's inside here. I did get some new tires and new wheels for it to make it a lot safer. So we'll get all set up and I'll turn you back on. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw that old crusty battery in here. I actually had the battery to the AMX in here, but obviously I need that battery for the AMX. So let's see here. Should do it like that, maybe. This battery's not known to be good, but it will start this car if I jump it. So I will have to hook the jumper cables to the El Camino to this, and the carburetor leaks really bad on it, so I do have a carb kit for it. May dink around while trying to do the carburetor kit rebuild. Okay, so the biggest problem with the gremlin are these wheels. They're cool old wheels, but somebody has really just boogered them up. So it doesn't matter how many washers you stack on. It don't matter if you buy brand new shoulder. I mean, look at this one. It's already finger loose. Anyway, so these wheels just aren't safe. So that's another reason that I kind of put it on the back burner, because I don't want to deal with it. Now these back wheels, these Keystone mags, they're a little boogered up, but they will tighten and stay tight with not too much effort. And these are actually 15-inch wheels, which is kind of sad that the front ones are in such poor shape I can't reuse them. I may keep the rear ones for, you know, maybe drag slicks for the gremlin after we LS it or whatever we're going to do with it. But in the meantime, I don't have any plans with them, so if anybody's watching this video and really wants a couple Keystone mags or something and you want to pay the shipping, you just let me know, because if I don't use them, I'm probably just going to haul them off to scrap, and that's probably where they need to go. But you know, somebody might need to center caps or something off of them. So anyways, I'm going to get that hooked up to the El Camino, let it start kind of charging the battery a little bit, and I am going to start getting some wheels off, and the new wheels and tires are in the bed of the El Camino. So I will get some stuff done and I'll bring you back here in a minute. Alright, just doing a few little things over there. Better get back to the Gremlin El Camino project here. Just about ready to get the Gremlin started, or see if it's gonna start. Better wave bye to the wife, or she'll get mad at me. Alright. So I successfully got the wheels and tires on. They're nothing super fancy, but white letter Cooper Cobras, kind of cool. There they are. Front there. Now I gotta see if this thing is gonna start. Smells like gas in here. Oh, bummer. No power at all. Could be the jumper cables. Actually, let me make this easier for myself. Have it in park. Alright. I'll turn you back on here when I figure out my problem. Okay, well, it helps when you have the battery cables on the right. Right dill under the hood. I'm on gremmy. This guy is going to take runs. One thing about this gremlin, it doesn't run very good, but it does start and it does run. Try to Get some of this crud out of here I don't need. Kind of a storage rig. Like I said, I was afraid I wouldn't get a title for it. So it was looking a little grim for the gremmy. Alright, well, I'm going to get a few things loaded in it and I'll get it outside. Alright. Pump up the brakes. The brakes are not very good in this car, which I did order a new brake cylinder for it. And that's the little pan on the transmission cover that makes that noise. It's not the first time I've bent it, so. Alright. You can tell these storage guys every day they need to fill up the front of their doors. I'll tell you the same thing, no, because it'll flood. And then every time I bring this gremlin in and out of here, it hits the floor right there, bends the little plate on the bell housing there, and I have to climb back under there and straighten it back out so to quit making that noise. So I guess that's life. Alright, well, I'm going to get a few things cleaned up here and get her back to the garage. I really don't have anywhere to put you on the dash. I try to bend the plate back, but as you can tell, I didn't really bring tools to do that. Oh yeah. The gremmy's gonna need some brakes. I don't know if I said that or not, but really gotta get after them here. And yes, I had the whole dash. I took it apart to do some other work to it, but we'll have to get her back together. No, I don't have the plates or insurance for this, so lucky for me, I only live a few. Boy, does this thing drive good. Other than the brakes. Want that guy to think I was videotaping. You'd be surprised how many people don't want to be on camera. Oh yeah, she's ripping on the wind. I will be home in no time. Just don't break down on me before I get home, because I didn't bring my phone. Isn't it sad that the Gremlin isn't that much smaller than the AMX? Well, sadly it is. I think it's 2 inches narrower or something. I don't know if you can hear that, but we got like 50-mile-an-hour winds ripping through here, so if you watched the Jeep video I did a little earlier, sorry about the audio in it. It was just so windy, and there's nowhere to really go to avoid the wind. Anyways, got the gremlin in here. So these wheels were on the El Camino, which are a unilug type of thing. And I got to get the right lug nuts for it, but you know, the wheels weren't trying to fall off the whole half a mile I had to drive with it, so that's a good sign. But anyway, so I got a good deal on these tires, but you know, these tires are in better shape than the other ones, but this one here has been driven on low, and it's got a crack all the way around it, but not too worried about it exploding. And they are all matching Cobra tires. And there's actually 2 tires that are in really good shape, and then there's that one and this one here. The other 2 tires are in really good shape, and I can get 2 brand new tires exactly the same, so I guess it's not the end of the world, but they're a lot better than what was on it, those old Keystones. But I thought I'd get the interior kind of back together and get her cleaned up. I had a few ideas. I've seen a few gremlins. I was thinking about blacking these 2 little things here, kind of just tapering them off here and doing those in black. And then this car used to have some pinstriping, but it's since long been gone there. And I thought about maybe painting the hump on the hood here black, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to or not. And I still haven't totally came up with a plan on the grill. I was thinking about cutting this off straight on both sides and then just getting some thin aluminum little strips and just making me a bar grill and sticking those back in there, you know, just to make it look a little cleaner. And I gotta straighten out the bumper. Like I said, finally got our title on this car, so I'm more motivated to work on it than let it just sit around and not do anything. And hood for the AMX is being worked on in fiberglass, as I said on Instagram, if you follow on that. But you know, I'm gonna kind of wait and put a video out on the Frankenstein hood until I get a lot more progress done on it. I just don't feel like making 5-10 minute videos here and there of just real slow process stuff. So when I get it all when I get it to a certain stage where it's fiberglassed and looking really good, then I will get a full video, and it'll probably be a kind of a long video by that time. So and then this guy here, if you watched the motorcycle video, I got the head back on. It's actually got, I think, 60 pounds of compression, which, you know, rings are probably a little stuck on it. But still don't know why they ever parked this bike, because I did shift it through the gears and got the back chain and tire freed up and shifted it through all the gears, and actually jimmied around with the clutch, and the clutch does work. So the only thing I can tell you is I have no spark at all in this thing. I messed with the magneto and took it off, filed down the points, and you know, cleaned up some of the wiring, did a little soldering on some broken stuff in there, and just absolutely no spark. It does put power out through to the headlights and stuff, so I do know that their coils are probably good in the magneto after I repaired them, but I don't know if the condenser's bad, I don't know if the points are just that bad, but I found a whole magneto on eBay that I'm thinking about buying. They do have a point condenser set too, but I haven't figured that out, so that's kind of the quick little update on that guy. But as soon as I get some parts in for it, I'll try to get a video made on it again. So, alright, well anyways, I'm going to work on getting some of this interior buttoned up and try to get it cleaned up again. And I got to work on the brakes, and I ordered a new master brake cylinder from Summit, so it should be here next week. So, alright, I will bring you back on when I start doing something. Okay, so if you're ever trying to take these Gremlin dash pads apart, they're kind of goofy, but they got these screws that go through and attach through it. Let's see if I can flip this around here. So each one of these little posts sticking out have screws that go through the dash. Here, here, here. So you gotta get a screwdriver up behind, and then you got these two that go straight up and down, right there and there. And those are kind of a real pain in the butt. Anyways, I took this off originally to see about trying to get it fixed, but you know, just kind of slowed down on all that. So for right now, I'm going to stick it back in, and I'm only going to put the two screws here in the center because the pillar trim kind of holds in the sides here, so that way I don't have to fight pulling the dash and everything out in case I want to ship this out and get it fixed, so I don't have such a big mess sitting here in the car. But so that's kind of what I'm gonna work on, get the interior back together, because you know, it's actually pretty clean, you know, for what it is. So get it back together so we can try to drive it a little bit, you know, get some plates on it and actually try to drive it. So, and I gotta either get a steering wheel cover or something to clean up this steering wheel. Oops, I guess that's broken now. But I do have an aftermarket American Motor steering wheel I might put on here. I think it says just AMC on it, so I might do that instead and just hang up the Gremlin steering wheel for a while. Alright, well anyways, I'm going to get those screws in, and then I'll bring you back to what I would do next. Okay, after you get your crash pad, dash pad, whatever you want to call it, back in, you got this little heater control panel here, and it has 4 Phillips screws. They might be different from the factory. I'm sure these aren't the original. Support Gremlin has been around the block. It's had a lot of interesting stuff. If you do follow Instagram, you'll know this is one of the first vehicles other than AMX I started putting on there, and when we got it, it actually had a house light switch just on here. I think it was actually hanging right there, and I don't know what it was for. I've never seen an electrical house switch wired into a car before, but this one had one. So it definitely had some interesting stuff going on for it. Alright, And then you got this fun device here. It's fun. Throw it on like so. And I want to say it's got a couple screws there. Camera lens is dirty again. It's probably not any better. Got a couple screws there, and screw there, a couple screws right around here. So I'll get that shoved back in there, and then you got, unless you have, I think, AC, I want to say, then you just get a dummy plate. And oh, you know what? You got to put your dummy plate in before you put your center console in. So you might want to do that, and don't be like me. But yeah, you're gonna want to do it the right way. It's gonna be too much fighting. So let me get this little console bolted up, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so after you get that all shoved in there and bolted up, your gremlin is as cool as my gremlin. It'll be broken here, so you don't need a screw there. But, there's a screw there, and then a screw there. And then there's two screws, one here, one here. What's that on my finger? Piece of dirt. So, oh, and then there's two up in here, which I never had screws for. Imagine that. Then inside your really cool gross ashtray, it's full of rust and cigarettes and stuff. You can push that back in. And then, you know, if you took a, I don't know, a hammer and a chisel, whatever they used here to cut in a CD player, I guess you'd put your CD player back in now, but I didn't have a radio. It came like this. I think it was a factory non-radio car. That's what I'm gonna pretend it is anyways. There's the factory awesome speaker. I don't know what size it is, but I'm sure it's really cool. So after you do that, I guess you gotta put your glove box back together maybe. I'll probably put my cool cluster back in, and how cool is that? And it actually works. So I don't know what the deal is on it, but it actually the speedometer works and the odometer works, but this thing must have over 200,000 miles or something on it, because it's rolled over to the 2. I'm just gonna say that that's this car's only got 2 miles on it. I'm sure you can tell by the interior that it's, you know, only been driven 2 miles. Then you gotta put no, you don't have to do anything with that. So I know the biggest pain on this is getting your speedometer cable into that, because you gotta reach your hand up around in there and cut your arm all up and everything trying to do it, but it's got to be done. So we'll get that jammed in there and we'll take a peek. Okay, well, as I predicted, speedometer was tough to do, but I didn't cut myself, but I had to move my arm in a weird position that it doesn't want to move into, but got it in there. Let's see here, somewhere in this pile, or maybe this car didn't have them, was the knobs to the hoo-ha's there, the headlight switch and whatnot, but maybe it didn't have it, I don't remember. Then originally when I got this car, somebody actually just demolished the steering column getting the ignition out, and then they had a piece of wire to actually start it, and they pulled the rod out, everything to the ignition switch, and boy, it was a mess. But since this is a GM steering column, I went and robbed the only Chevy. It was like a 79 Chevy truck. It had the automatic shift column and the ignition in it, and I robbed that whole thing out of there because this was missing the little gear thing, the rod, everything. And I was able to pull all the parts out of that GM steering column, which it had pretty much a brand new key in it, and put it right in here, and it works fine. So, and I even robbed the steering knob's not the right one, but this one was all broke off and messed up. I even robbed a little shift knob off of that. So, and then along with this poor car's life history, somebody got really angry at this shelf. I'm presuming whoever ripped everything out to figure out how to start this car with a house switch and everything else on it. They just, I don't know, they kicked it out, they put their foot and broke it out. I have no idea, but this shelf was pretty minty, but part of it's missing on that side. So the next step would be to put the glove box stuff back together. And once a guy does that, this is almost cleaned out. Like our psychedelic black seat covers. And these are turtle back seats, by the way, but the turtle shells are cracked and broken and laying in storage. So I took those off and just put the cool black seat covers that were already in here on it. So, but you get the little gremlin men and the door panels, kind of like our Jeep. They really like their gremlin stuff. The gremlin in the steering wheel, the door panels, and the coolest ones are here on both sides of the front fenders. And then everybody wants our coveted Gremlin Man lock-in gas cap. And yes, the little Gremlin Man flings out of the way for that. But and then it says Gremlin right there. I think it might say it on the front of the hood too. But yeah, they like their Gremlin. But you know what? That's what made Gremlins cool. Yeah, it's got Gremlin there. I don't think they had a Gremlin guy in the grill, but you know, grill's hashed in this thing, so there's no telling. But there, I'm gonna clean out the passenger seat so I can get my large body over there. Oh, there's the headlights switch, maybe. All right, some more on these crusty seats here. But like I said, I got the turtle backs for them. They're just kind of broken and beat up, but good solid floor. A little surface rust there, but good and strong. You gotta have a brake pedal return spring there, or it'll make the battery go dead for sure. I think that's the old little buzzer. Kind of cool to get that working again. I'm sure the wife would really enjoy that. But sadly, somebody cut some really cool speaker holes, I guess, or in their opinion, probably really cool speakers. And that light actually works sometimes. It's kind of weird. Sometimes it works. There it is. Oh. Because I should be pointing the camera in the right direction. And I've got the same problem on the AMX. The driver's side, one of these little, whatever these little door switch, light switch, whatever you want to call it, I have to grab it and jiggle it sometimes, and then it'll work on the AMX for a couple months. And then I gotta reach in there and jiggle on it again. But as far as I know, I can't get the exact ones anymore. They're just a one wire deal with Outside is the actual ground to it. Back seat's actually in really good shape. I mean, the seat belts are even buckled together in the back. So, alright, well, I'll quit procrastinating, get the glove box together. I'm not really looking forward to it. We'll get her back together. Okay, well, the cardboard to the glove box is pretty well disintegrating. But it's good enough. It covers up the cool speaker. And these holes right here used to attach to cardboard, but they've seen better days. So I know you can get the new cardboard for it, so I'll have to get some new cardboard for it eventually. And it's not that I don't like the glove box, it's so fiddly. Hang on, it's all fiddled. You can see it doesn't really close or line up very good, and I'm just not real happy on how the dash looks, but you know, I guess I'm not really all that motivated to do anything about it either. Not right now, maybe soon, but just not right now. There's a couple screws that hold all this together, but it's not playing nice with me. There it is. Just wasn't pushed all the way down. Got to keep this factory fresh gremlin together here, I guess. I don't want it to deteriorate on us anymore, and it has. But that sticker right there is actually a 1971 sticker for Western Illinois University or something. So I think, I can't really tell, but so this is probably the factory windshield, and I know exactly how this crack right here, it goes all the way across, has formed. We had a rig at our job that had a really long, it was a car, but it had a really long windshield. And I noticed right on it, and it's a Ford, and on the heater control, on the defrost, it actually labeled not higher than 3. Well, anyways, everybody ignored that and put it on 4 or 5, whatever the max number is to defrost the oversized windshield. Well, same thing happened one day. It was covered in snow. Somebody started up, let it just run for like an hour with the heater defrost on, and it just pop, cracked the windshield just like that. So imagine that's the same thing that happened to the poor gremlin here. Alright, well, got the glove box together. No, this isn't a Gremlin X car. And we've owned one of those before, and I couldn't really tell you, other than it had a 4.2 straight 6 in it, that there was anything really all that much more fancy about it other than the X logos on it. But also with my rambling on maybe doing some painting on it or touching up, I might do that black little thing that the V8s and stuff had on them. Probably the Gremlin X's too. But one thing I like is the rear glass lift arms, I guess. They're not the little oil compression ones, they're actually just spring loaded. So that's pretty nice. Couple views of the back. It's missing all the plastic that goes around the back part. I vaguely remember in one of the Gremlins there's a black piece that goes like this, and it's actually, or maybe it's on this side, but it's actually molded to you know, fit your spare tire right there. So definitely can't put a lot in there. Back seat folds up. So you can get, you know, 2 more bags of groceries in the back of it, I guess. But, you know, I'm definitely not old enough to say that we would ever had a gremlin when I was a kid, but I know my parents had a gremlin. My mom drove for a while, and I don't know if my sister was alive, and I could have been alive, I guess, but couldn't imagine this being a very good family car. But as all gremlins proved to me time and time again, they just won't quit running. As long as you throw a little stuff at them, they'll just keep on running. And then the next thing I guess I'm going to get done to this is probably rebuild that carburetor. She leaks gas pretty bad. And it's got like just random vacuum hoses on it and stuff. But not too much of this old engine. We're still on the fence whether we're going to put an LS in it or dink around with the 6-cylinder. I was still thinking about maybe putting a 4-barrel carburetor intake on it, but maybe do the dual header so you kind of have like dual exhaust sort of. But you know, I don't know. We got plenty of LS motors and wiring. I guess we could just as easily throw an LS in it and call it good. And of course, since the AMX has orange halos, we're going to put green halos in the gremlin. But all I can tell you is on engine swapping, that's going to have to be, you know, down the road. But we can definitely work with what we got on the 6-cylinder. My little drive I did earlier, I mean, it shifts really good and it runs really good down the road. So just needs a lot of brake work. So get after the brakes on it. I need to adjust this door. I never did really do much else with my repair on the door there, but you know, the door's shut, so I'm not too worried about it. I might order a carpet kit for it. We got to get some new weather stripping. Just kind of get it up in snuff so it's, you know, at least able to be driven down the road. Oh, and weird little chrome mud flaps. I got to trim them or cut them because every tire, even those other tires, they all rubbed on them real bad when you turn. So, alright, well, I know it wasn't a really super good video, but if you ever want to see a gremlin dash go back together, that's about the best I can put it back together. But keep in mind it's not exactly you know, a really super clean dash either. So you just got to work with what you got, make it as good as you can. And like the El Camino, I might be able to get a dash cover for it and just kind of hide the dash for now until we decide what we're going to do down the road. And I don't know about these seats. I'm thinking about putting the seats out of the AMX into it because those are really super comfortable on the AMX. But you know, things take money, so that's just where it's going to be. But anyways, so I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you like the new intro on the videos. Trying to keep things a little bit more lively for everybody. And we'll be back to work on this gremlin here in no time. And probably just going to be focusing on it for a while here and get it on the road so we can enjoy it some more. Alright, thanks for watching.